We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. Our ceremonial sauce comes courtesy of Roger Debs of Burn Your Tongue, cleverly not so hidden in the Quilted Bear in the Newgate Mall in Ogden, Utah. We raise our flames to Roger. The hallowed shelves of Burn Your Tongue now hold over 700 sauces, making Burn Your Tongue one of the largest sauce purveyors anywhere. If you're a chili head, you must make the pilgrimage. You can also find Roger on Facebook at the link in the description below. And what we have here from 13 Stars, the nuclear option, the hottest in their lineup. And so the 13 Stars, I think, is probably referring to the first flag of the United States, the original colonies. All right, so we've got their mission of giving back here, veteran and first responder causes, and a little bit of commentary here. There are other sauces I did look at, but I believe they all, I want to say they all had onions in them, possibly. I don't remember the exact case, but I looked into those. There's an interesting, a few companies anyway are doing this sort of a patriotic type theme, I guess, almost informing the way that they go to market with stuff. Willie Pete's Chocolates does this, the General's hot sauce, and there's a number of those reviews right here on YouTube that you guys can check out as well. And these guys, I mean, there might be some others as well, but it has, I wouldn't say it's by and large the case necessarily, but I think it is kind of interesting, that approach with a few of them. So we've got here, we've got the white vinegar, habanero pepper, red bell pepper, boot alokia, ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, lime juice, spices, and kosher salt. So interestingly, 3 of the things that are in this are also in the Pure Death from Blair's, one of my all-time favorite sauces. So you know what that means. We got the same orange coloration. This is obviously a much, much, much thinner sauce. And I wasn't quite sure what they were trying to go with this sauce. We got, oh, they're calling it insane heat level, 6 stars. 6 stars! Yes, indeed. 8 fluid ounces. I believe the General's hand grenades are also that size as well. Alright, so let's take a look here. Got this very nice, vibrant, gorgeous orange sauce. Presumably from the habaneros and the red bell peppers. Very pretty. I like the look of this sauce. It almost, not quite, but almost looks like orange soda. It almost has a sort of artificiality to it. Certainly that doesn't come across in the flavor at all, but there's nothing artificial, I don't think, about this. But very, very interesting coloration here. I like this quite a lot. The one, I mean, there's a couple issues I have with this sauce, but definitely not the color. I think it's a very appetizing color. It's gorgeous. I dig it. I like it. You can see it is very thin though, which is one of the slight issues I have with this. So, all right, let's get into the taste test. So we get a very nice habanero flavor. I'm not always a fan of that. It works really well here. That is tempered a little bit by that red bell pepper. Very smart to put that in there. But then you get the blast furnace of both the Ghosts and the Reapers right after that. Super hot bitters. But like I said, they are tempered somewhat, but this does have a lot of bitterness to it. Certainly it's punchy. I think I gave this a 4. It is not what non-chili heads would enjoy, I don't think. I like this sauce, but you know, for quite a while I didn't know what to do with it. Because I thought, okay, maybe they're going after the Louisiana style sauce, given how runny it is. But I don't think that's it, because flavor-wise, it is nothing. It's not in that realm at all. It's really kind of its own thing. It's not super vinegar forward, much more pepper forward. It's quite nice. I like the sauce a lot. Although I wish it was actually just slightly less super hot bittery than it is. That is pretty unmistakable in this, but I like where they're going with this. This is a pretty solid sauce. I certainly have no issues with it. So, like I said, that's one of the contentions I have, is that it's a little bit too super hot bittery for me. Or, I mean, obviously I'm going to enjoy this whole thing, but I really wish that it was a little bit less so. It does melt pretty well with food, you know, so, and you know, the only idiots eating it by itself are people like me who do these type of videos, but, so you're really not going to be having it a lot, but when you do have an overabundance, you know, when you, like if you oversauce something, for instance, that aspect is just a touch irritating. The sauce is flavorful enough though that it's not a huge deal. It doesn't render it inedible or anything like that. To me it becomes a bit much, and then it kind of skews things over to the other side a little bit, where you're taking a food additive to try to improve a food. If you go too far, it actually detracts. So be a little bit cautious there. This doesn't detract as much as certainly other sauces I've had. The second, and these are minor complaints as well, the second one is how runny this is. This part, so it works well with things, and like to me, I love Pure Death and the Death Sauce and so on pizza. And this does remind me of that. It's not flavored quite as well as that particular sauce is, but very few other sauces are either, so, you know, that's not really a knock, but here's the problem, right? Trying to put it on something like this, where you've got a layer of cheese and there's nothing really for the sauce to soak into. So it just kind of sits there. And flavor-wise, you know, this will probably work actually in a number of applications where you would normally have a Louisiana-style sauce. Heavy cream sauces, cheese sauces. I mean, I think this is a very, very flexible sauce. Anywhere you would use that, you could use this. But again, the same issue with Louisiana style. You try to pour it on here, it's very watery. So dumping water on a pizza, not always the greatest thing. But flavor-wise, I've been looking forward to this. I've tried this on a lot of other stuff, but I've held off on pizzas just because I thought it'd be good, but also, you know, I'm back in my trying to be healthy phase, and pizzas don't really play a big part into that, especially. Also, now you can, I don't know if you can see behind me, but we're getting now, finally, the eternal winter is sort of over. So we're finally getting a bit into spring, summer, and I've got to I need to move into grill season and kind of be done with the oven. And, you know, like the air fryer is great, but trying to cook a frozen pizza, which we have today, the Private Selection Dopplio pepperoni. Trying to fit that into an air fryer. No shot, no prayer. All right, enough talking. Let's get into this. Quite good. So it occupies a really nice ground here where it's pepper forward enough that it works so well on this pizza. But at the same time, you kind of get the punchy. You get the punch here as well. It blends in really nice. I wish it was a little bit thicker though. I think I managed to pour this. I've got some pools on this one. It's this weird area where there is some pulp to it. But this one, I've got some pools here. We'll see how that goes. Consistency-wise, it's pretty close though. It's a bit overly runny for me, but flavor-wise, when you put it with stuff, very nice. My preference is for a bit more sweetness though. I mean, they weren't trying to make that kind of sauce, I don't think, but this is solid. I mean, it's not spectacular, it's just solid. But you start with a good pizza, and you can enhance it with a correspondingly good sauce. You know, certainly throwing 8-ounce bottles out there, you know, it's pretty solid value. I think this would work better actually if I would have had something sweet on the pizza, like some red bell peppers or possibly like a fruit of some kind. Pairing this with pineapple would have been excellent. Yeah, it's like I said, for a sauce, I really wasn't knowing what to expect going in. I was expecting something a lot less runny. And so I didn't, it sat on the shelf for a while, you know, for when I got it. And I suppose I didn't know where it would fit in. And I sort of resolved to figuring it must be like a Louisiana style given the thinness of it. And a lot of the applications are similar, but it's not that style of sauce at all. So I still actually have some Louisiana style open, but I'm getting near the end of the bottle, which is kind of what prompted me to get to this. So decent mouth heat. This sauce actually feels to me like it's I think a few minor adjustments, and I think this is probably one of the better sauces out there. Heat level's about perfect. Again, you just get a little bit overly bitter, and it's a little bit too runny. I think You know, you kind of chase those things around a little bit, and you've got a winner. You know, if you can kind of resolve it. But again, that's just with me as the audience. Maybe this is exactly the kind of sauce that they were trying to make. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good solid sauce. I will have no problem going through the rest of this. And with 8 ounces, you know, I probably whipped through a little bit over 2 ounces or so, give or take, playing around with it. Quite enjoyable. Of all the patriotic themed, I guess, sauces I've had, this one is probably the best. This nuclear option, because it definitely has really, really solid flavor, a nice punch, and just like I said, a minor bit of elements maybe that are specific to me, and this thing is probably in sauce of the year contention, but as it is, very, very good. So we'll just leave it at that. So there it is, the 13 stars nuclear option hot sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.